Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, at the outset, I'm so thankful to the Honorable LO who has brought the motion that this House to now discuss the style of functioning of the Public Works Department, roads and bridges with a special reference to the projects taken under PMGSY, MITP, CRF and interstate routes and their mode of selection and quality of implementation thereof. Sir, I'm so grateful to the Honorable LO who has dwelt upon so many issues relating to these references which he has already indicated in the motion, and maybe quite a number of points I may be missing out in clarification, but I would request the Honorable Leader of Opposition kindly treat the issues raised by you into consideration by my department, and maybe rectification or action wherever necessary should be taken care of. Sir, few issues flagged in by the Honorable Leader of Opposition. The point number one is relating to PMGSY. In brief, I would like to again highlight here about the implementation of PMGSY right from the year 2000 till 2019, and that is the component of PMGSY1. PMGSY1, the sanction number of route is 1079 and 96 long span bridges, completed 1063, and all 96 LSBs, meaning long span bridges, with the total amount of 2,605.90 crores. And out of 1079 numbers of road sanctioned in PMGSY1, I'm happy to inform the honorable members of this August House, as well as to the Honorable Leader of Opposition, out of 1079 roads, 16 roads will be completed during this current financial year up to March 2026. And by the end of this current financial year, 2026, we will be able to complete the entire PMGSY1 sanction then. So we come to PMGSY2. Sir, in PMGSY2, 94 roads were sanctioned and 12 long span bridges with an amount of rupees 380.28 crores. Out of the 94 roads project sanctioned, 92 roads have been completed, and the long span bridges was also fully completed, all the 12 numbers. And I'm happy to inform that the PMGSY 2, out of 94, 2 which is not yet completed, again, we are hopeful that within this current financial year 25-26, March 25-26, will be fully completed. So these two components, PMGSY 1, PMGSY 2, will be completed during this current financial year. Next one is PMGSY 3. In PMGSY 3, 141 roads and 55 long-span bridges, and the sanction amount was 1,448 crores. Out of 141, 36 completed with an expenditure of 374.98 crores. Again, the balance work of 105 roads project will again be completed by December 2026, including the 55 numbers of long-span bridges. So, sir, from PMGSY 1 till this current year, about 5,959.29 kilometers road have been completed. Sir, now again we are in the phase 4 of PMGSY. Phase 4 of PMGSY, Government of India has requested the state government to again identify those villages which is yet to be connected throughout the state. And the survey was done right from the year 2024. And the preliminary survey of 903 habitations of villages were conducted. And even the list of these surveyed was sent to the Ministry of Rural Development. Out of 903, 329 habitations was approved by the ministry, and these approved habitations of villages, Piludi is now in the stage of DPR preparation. Some of them we have already submitted the DPR, and part of them we are in the stage of completion. And from the department side, we will make sure that these approved habitations sanction be accorded, and work will also be started and we do expect, sir, that partly out of 329, partly maybe during this current year 2026, works can be started throughout the state. Our leader of opposition, he mentioned about the criteria of selection, the mode of selection of this project. Sir, as far as PMGSY is concerned, guidebook is in place, and there is no way out where we can manipulate or we can qualify or we can disqualify ourselves. It is not at all possible. Therefore, the selection process is done according to the guidelines, and also we maintain transparency. I would like to assure the Honorable Leader of Opposition and the members of this August House that selection process is done in a very, very transparent manner. Again, the issues raised by the honorable mover or leader of opposition about the estimate, the inflation, that some projects were made with the inflation, which is abnormally high. Sir, again, the system or the guideline says that the project, once the DPR is completed by the department, by the PUD, it will be again approved by the SRRDA, and from there we will send it to SDA, to SDA, and the SDA is appointed by the ministry only. And here, in the case of Meghalaya, IIT is the authority who will check and who will also vet each and every DPR. So once it is vetted, then we will upload and send to the Government of India for necessary approval. And this system starts right from the PMGSY 1 till the PMGSY 4, which is yet to be implemented. So,
I will extend the House till this motion is disposed of.
yes,
You
sir?
may continue, sir.
Huh?
You may continue, sir.
Oh, I thought you'll say that next time I'll continue, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So, sir, again, when our honorable leader of opposition mentioned about the faulty estimate frame, I think, I don't know yet, though he mentioned about one specific project. That again, sir, let me assure the honorable member, I will find out. I will find out myself. I'll see, because as I said to you, any estimate, any DPR has to be vetted by the IIT Guwahati. Unless that is done, the ministry or the Government of India will not at all accept the DPR. Sir, number two, sir, we come to the MITP. A number of issues honorable leader of opposition has raised relating to the implementation of the MITP. Sir, I would like to read the draft statement made by my department. This is for the benefit of all the honorable members of this August House. Government of Meghalaya has implemented the Meghalaya Integrated Transport Project through the Department of Economic Affairs Government of India under the Externally Aided Project Assistance Framework. MITP represents the strategic initiative by the Government of Meghalaya to revamp the state's transport infrastructure. The project aims to establish a well-connected, efficient, high-quality and safe transport network on a long-term basis in a cost-effective manner, with the goal of maximizing economic and social benefits for the people of Meghalaya. This comprehensive approach to enhancing transport infrastructure is designed to facilitate smoother and safer travel, improve access to essential services, and connect remote areas with major economic centers. To finance the project, the state entered into a tripartite agreement with the World Bank, the Government of India, and the Government of Meghalaya. The project is estimated to cost $150 million and will be implemented over a period of 6 years. Of this total cost, 80% of the total cost of the project will be a loan component and 20% will be the upfront counterpart funding from the state government. Thus, the World Bank will provide a loan of $120 million, while the remaining $30 million will be contributed by the state government as counterpart funding over the life of the project, that is 6 years. Out of the World Bank's $120 million loan, the central government will subsidize 90% and only the balance 10% of the loan amount, that is $12 million, is to be repaid back by the state government. The loan has a 6-year moratorium period that is covering the implementation time. Repayment of the above loan will begin on December 2026 and will be staggered through an 8-year period, that is till June 2034. And repayment will be made biannually every June, December 15 at an interest rate of only 6.25%. The project components under MITP, sir. Number one, effective delivery and maintenance of transport infrastructure. The component will aim to improve transport connectivity on critical sections of integrated transport network, plans using climate resilient and green technologies, innovative designs, and improve delivering framework for transport infrastructure. Component number two, asset management, institutional effectiveness, and transport services. The component aims to develop assets management, investment effectiveness, under which preparation of integrated transport network development plan, innovative climate resilient, nature-based design and construction solutions for roads and bridges, least cost engineering solutions, development and implementation of transport sector modernization plan. The component will support continuous modernization, enhance efficiency, and improve performance across transport agencies using the latest research, innovations, and global best practices. Number three component, project management and implementation. The component is to support for project preparation, engineering supervision, and project management. And component number four, contingent emergency response component, immediate response to an eligible crisis or emergency as needed. Under this project, Meghalaya State PWD has undertaken rehabilitation and improvement of 330.63 kilometers of road across Meghalaya, which include rehabilitation, upgradation, improvement of 11 numbers non-urban roads covering 285.5 kilometers, rehabilitation, upgradation, improvement of 2 numbers urban road covering 34.90 kilometers, and 4 number of tourism roads covering 10.11 kilometers, and 1 stand-alone access bridge of length 120 meters, the one which our Honorable LO, I think, he has mentioned during the submission and deliberation. Again, the Honorable mover of this motion, he mentioned about the quality, inferior quality, and faulty quality, I should say, during the implementation of MITP. Sir, I would like to again say here that the guidebook is again in place for quality implementation on the projects under MITP. One, Tier 1 quality control begins at the field level, where the contractor executes work strictly as per IRC, Ministry of Road Transport specification, BIS standards, and contract provisions, while the CSC provides round-the-clock technical supervision. The CSC verifies workmanship, monitors compaction levels, checks structural elements, validates material quality, and ensures safety compliance. Mandatory laboratory and field testing of materials forms an integral part of this tier. The second tier involves project-level independent quality assurance. Led joined by the PMC and the CLAN, MIDFC PLUD, the PMC carries out independent reviews of DPR's drawings, technical specification, and contract compliance, conduct monthly and quarterly quality audits, and performs variation and analysis of physical and financial progress. Whenever gaps or delay are identified, the PMC issues clear corrective instructions to the CSC and the contractor. Meanwhile, the client authority, MIDFC/PWD, regularly inspects both civil works and safeguard implementations, ensuring that field-level activities match the technical and contractual requirement. The PMC also compiles and submits monthly and quarterly progress reports to the client and the World Bank, covering engineering quality and environmental compliance, social safeguards, procurement status, financial performance, and safety observations, thereby ensuring full transparency. The third tier provides external independent oversight by the World Bank team, which validates the quality and procedural integrity of the project. The bank's experts assess compliance with the environmental and social safeguard framework, including operational policy on environmental assessment, which the MITP adheres to rigorously. The World Bank also reviews the implementation of environmental protection measures, labor and camp management, waste disposal, dust and noise suppression, slopes stability, public safety measures, and community grievances redressal mechanism. Social specialists independently verify compensation processes, livelihood impact, mitigation, and community consultations. Findings from these missions are documented, shared with the PMC and the client, and corrective actions with specific timeline are mandated as per this quality implementation. Sir, the World Bank supported MITP, which commenced in January 2021, is expected to be completed by October 2026. The total project outlay under MITP is 1,238 crores. As of January 2026, an amount of rupees 1,095.83 crores has been utilized for various developmental activities under the project, and the remaining funds are to be utilized for the earmark components within the approved project period. The funds are initially drawn from the state treasury out of the budget provisions of the department, and reimbursement claims are made to the World Bank every quarter for expenditure incurred. The overall physical progress stands at 90.64%, and the financial progress is 88.52%. The projects are upgradation, improvement of Bajeng Doba, Resubelpara, Mendipata, Damra Road. Number 2, upgradation, improvement of Agya, Mendipathar, Phulbari, Tura, Ampati Road. Number 3, upgradation, improvement of parallel road to existing Dalu Bakmara Road. Number 4, upgradation, improvement of Shillong Dingpasok Road. Number 5, upgradation, improvement of Lightcore, Pomlakarai, Light Lungkot Road. Number 6, upgradation of Umling Pathakma Road. Number 7, upgradation, improvement of Rongjeng Mangsang Adokri Road. Number 8, upgradation, improvement of Pasi Karampani Road. 9, upgradation, improvement of Mau Maram Maulendep Road. 10, upgradation, improvement of Rongram Rongrengri Darugri Road. 11, upgradation, improvement of Nongstoin Mau Edge Road. 12, rehabilitation, improvement of road within Nongstoin Town. 13, rehabilitation, improvement of road in William Nagar Town. 14, construction of approach road from Nyangmayer to Sok Meleng for development of tourism infrastructure. 15, construction of approach road from Mauklot to Umyam for development of tourism infrastructure. 16, construction approach road from Light Artet to Nongliput for development of tourism infrastructure. 17, construction of approach road from Mau Phanlur to Mau Thar Rashan for development of tourism infrastructure. And 18, construction of bridge over river Damring at Chidaret connecting Tapa Bajar. So overall benefit to the state road infrastructure project under MITP are set to benefit 503 villages and 41 wards covering a population of 7,99,477 people. This improvement will not only enhance transport connectivity but also spur the growth of small business. Sir, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, again, in the interstate projects, our honorable mover of this motion, again, he raised those interstate projects which is yet to be connected from the destination to the destination. Sir, whatever points raised by the Honorable Leader of Opposition, I have already noted down. We will see. Same way it happens, sir, like this road, which was initially implemented under this SRDP. Because the SRDP now is closed by the government of India. Halfway we have completed, and that is from Nongstoin, Rambrai. Nongstoin, Rambrai is completed, and now the balance work of Gershai up to Chegaon is again yet to be taken up. So this incident happened not only in Nongstoin, even it happened again from this Nongstoin to Wakaji, Wakaji to Plangdiloin, again Plangdiloin to up to Ranikor. These are also the project which is halfway completed. So, sir, recently we had a meeting under the leadership of our Honorable Chief Minister. We met the Honorable Minister. We talking. We impressed upon him about the necessity of this project, which was completed halfway, that Government of India, Ministry of Road Transport, should also consider to complete it. Otherwise, the benefit of both the state cannot be enjoyed in the future. So, sir, again, few issues also relating to Mankasha, Melim to Mankasha. This is also, in fact, recently we had a meeting under the leadership of our Honorable Chief Minister again. We discussed, we impressed upon the Honorable Minister, Ministry of Road Transport. We would like to see that the entire belt, right from Phulbari up to Mankasha, and again up to Garubada and Ampati side, up to this, where is that border? Up to Mahendraganj. That also we discussed, we have submitted the proposal, because if this can be covered, if it is considered by the Ministry of Road Transport, I am very sure the economic activities and the livelihood of this plain belt area can be improved 100%, sir. And also we discussed a few more important issues. Yesterday, our Honorable MLA from Phulbari, he has already mentioned about the bottleneck that we have. Because now the bridge, that bridge up to Phulbari is almost completed, that 4-lane bridge. Then again, immediately after the bridge, the road that we are using as of today is only an intermediate lane. So again, under the leadership of our Honorable Chief Minister, we have taken up this very, very seriously with the Minister concerned and with the official of the Ministry of Road Transport, that immediately from the bridge, Phulbari Bridge, again, we need to widen the existing road, connecting up to Agaya, meaning we'll convert it into 4-lane. And by doing that, I think it will help a lot, not only for Meghalaya, it will maximize the movement of vehicles coming down from West Bengal up to Guwahati. Because right now, as I said to you, sir, this portion became a bottleneck. We end nowhere, though we have the 4-lane. In Agaya, again, now the 4-lane is under construction, is almost completed from Guwahati up to Golpara. So it's almost completed. So now if this 4-lane ended only up to Agaya and ended only up to Phulbari, we will not be able to do justice both for Assam as well as for Meghalaya. So therefore, sir, under the leadership of our Honorable Chief Minister again, CM himself has already discussed, requested the Honorable Minister. Hopefully, this request also will be considered by the Government of India. Again, our leader of opposition, he mentioned about wrong road under NH 5051, which needs to be connected. So this also, sir, I have noted down. And even this sinking of some portion of Tura Dalu Road, which again needs to be revisited by the Blue D official. So I've already noted down all this. So, sir, once again, before I conclude, our Honorable LO has stressed further about the nepotism. Nepotism, that word nepotism, yes. Sir, let me tell you one thing. The selection of the project, the selection of the important projects in the state, government of the day under the leadership of our Honorable Chief Minister, we don't play politics. There is no politics at all, sir. And if you even go to the record, you will see that everywhere road connectivity happens. Not only road connectivity, good all-weather road keep happening. Of course, we can't reach to 100%, but we keep doing that, sir. We keep doing it, not because of the opposition or not because of the ruling. Of course, a little bit, yes, ruling is ruling. We can't help it. That is the democracy. No, that is it. See, because some people sometimes they said that as if the development comes by itself, which is totally wrong. If you go to the Constitution of India, why BJP and why Congress, they are fighting day and night to make sure that they get the majority, to form the government. Who does not want that? A person who does not want that means he is not a politician. He is not being guided by the Constitution of India. So therefore, sir, once again, I would like to assure the Honorable Leader of Opposition, and he is the senior most among us here, I would like to assure him that no nepotism at all, and we will make sure the interest of the state is above everything for us in the government. So with these few words, once again, sir, though I miss out so many points, but as I've already mentioned to the Honorable Leader of Opposition and also through you, sir, that all the points has been noted down. And even if I miss out to mention here, but my officers will see and make it happen or to take corrective measures wherever possible and whatever possible way. With these few words, sir, I conclude my speech.
Allow me to thank the Honorable Deputy Chief Minister for actually his reply itself is a testimony to the intent of doing justice, and I have reminded ourselves that there is joy in giving, more joy in giving than receiving. So I think we go with that. And only one thing, I referred to that PMGSY in respect of the parameters which is already an integral part of the parameters enshrined in the system and adopted very stringently. Because the proceeding of the minutes of the executive committee meetings are reflective of that. Therefore, there is a check and balance. But in other respect, the one I said is not the PMGSY, other scheme, whether it is MITP or RIDF. So the similar check and balance must be there. Then, there is lack of possibility of any tendency, human tendency to overlook all these things, which is very important to take care of the, the vested responsibility of protecting the interests of the people and state. And one thing is that those standalone bridges, they are eyesore. So I hope the Honorable Deputy CM has taken cognizance of that because, yes, all the points are noted and they will act upon. I would like to once again, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, through you, profusely thank the Honorable Deputy Chief Minister and also see that all those points which we have, which I took privilege to bring to the notice of the government are taken cognizance of and acted upon. With these few words, I once again thank the Honorable Deputy Chief Minister for the reply.
Thank you.